Welcome to the Untrained Experts, a podcast for combat sports and fight news.
Untrained Experts, episode number 11, recording on a Sunday, June 2nd. What's up, man?
Not much. It's the podcast world doing today.
I feel like it's been a little bit since we were here, man.
I know, it feels like it's been a long time. I mean, it's really only been a little over a week.
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't been that long. But
we didn't do one in the middle of the week like we had planned. We just kind of put it off because there wasn't much to talk about anyway, so.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot, but
yeah.
we got plenty to talk about now.
Yeah, for sure.
Lots of fights to react to and
a
bunch of good news to talk about.
Yeah.
Fucking Joshua last night, bro.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
Dude, it was crazy, man. I don't think anybody was expecting things to go like that.
I don't either.
I mean, even going into it, like, I figured it was going to go, I didn't think it would go late into the fight. Like, I figured it'd probably be 6 or 7, After watching, like, the first round and seeing how much Ruiz was in his face, I figured he was going to wear himself out and Joshua was going to get the knockout later on in the fight. I didn't think it was going to go 7 the other direction.
I did not either. Like, I can't believe Joshua even lost. I mean, like we were talking about not too long ago. It literally looks like he wanted to lose.
Yeah.
Like
he seems.
I feel like he's glad he's not in the running to fight Wilder or
Fury.
Tyson.
He seems like oddly happy at this point. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't seem depressed. He didn't seem upset. He was smiling and. He's in there, like, after Homeboy got the titles and stuff, Josh was in there with him, like, standing by him, smiling and shit. So it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know. Maybe he's just kind of relieved.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure.
There has been a lot of pressure, on him.
This gives him an excuse to come back better,
Yeah. And, I mean,
in a way.
He has a lot he can do still. I mean,
he's still going to make tons of money. Like,
oh, yeah.
He's the biggest star in the UK. Like, the money he's been making, he's still going to make that kind of money when he's fighting, even if it's not for a title,
Exactly.
And now he has something.
He's not tripping. Honestly, I feel like he's glad he doesn't have to fight Wilder. Like, I just think he didn't want that fight at all. I wouldn't want to fight Wilder, would you?
No, hell no.
I mean, even if
I said last night, I bet his team was regretting turning down the $50 million that Wilder offered him to fight last year,
Oh, they had to be.
Because now that fight's never going to happen unless Joshua's a champ again. It doesn't really make sense if he didn't have a title. That was the whole point of the fights, is to unify the belts.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the Fury fight, the whole point of the Joshua fight.
Yeah, it's like, who's the best?
Yeah. The whole point is to unify belts, so now one of them's going to end up fighting Ruiz instead of Joshua.
That's worrisome. I don't know. Because, I don't think Ruiz can hang with either of them.
I don't think he can either. I don't think on a good night, I don't think he beats Joshua again. You know what I mean?
Like, if
I think the thing was, going into that fight, Joshua was underestimating Ruiz. And that's easy to say, but when you can see it on his face in the fight, like, the pressure that Ruiz was putting on from the beginning, like, Joshua was surprised. Like, he didn't expect that to happen.
This big boy can move.
And he dropped Ruiz first at the beginning of the fight. He dropped him, and Ruiz gets back up and everything, and then he comes back out, and it wasn't, I don't know, less than a minute later, he drops Joshua. I think he dropped him twice in the first round.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he ended up dropping Joshua 4 times, and the 4th time the ref stopped it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Josh, I think that video Joe Rogan shared. Joshua, he was done.
Yeah.
He didn't really have any fight left.
You can see it on his face. Like, as it may have been the second time he got dropped, the camera's like zoomed in on his face, and he starts to get up, and then he goes back to a knee, and he just watches the ref and lets him count to 7, like he's trying to recover. He's just trying to make sure his head's all there.
Yeah.
Then he gets up, and the ref, checks his arm, make sure he's, walk towards me and all that. And he's like, box. And then Joshua gets dropped again. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I can't believe he lost, but at the same time, like we were saying, I feel like, he wasn't beat up about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he looked like he was, he congratulated Ruiz on being the champ and stuff. So
this gives him an excuse to go back and work harder and come back better,
come back and, beat whoever he needs to beat, definitely.
Beat whoever he needs to on the way, but, it's gonna be a while before we see him, even longer before we see him fight Wilder or Fury now,
Yeah, he's got plenty of time.
We've been wanting that fight for so long, and now it's just, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, we're never going to see Wilder and Joshua, but, they're thinking about Wilder Fury, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're talking about next year. I think they're talking about doing it next year.
Yeah, I saw somebody post. It was either Wilder or it was one of them talked about it.
I think Wilder posted something about it.
Yeah,
Posted something about fighting him next. He's fighting. Wilder's going to fight Luis Ortiz next in a rematch, and then after that, I think he's fighting Fury. They're trying to make a deal for next year or something.
Yeah, that fight's got to happen.
Oh man, for sure.
There's really no other fight.
Luis Ortiz is not going to be an easy fight for Wilder. You know, the last one I think it went to the 9th. I think he knocked Ortiz out in the 9th. But it was a tough fight for Wilder. Luis had him rocked. Yeah, it was a tough fight, man. It was, I don't know. Luis is a tough dude, and that's a tough fight to pick for Wilder. You know.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Especially being a rematch. You know.
People underestimate him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the dude's got cardio.
He's got tons of fights too, and he's like 100 years old.
He's
All the
very
wisdom.
elite, a very high level fighter.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I don't know. I'd like to see Ortiz and Wilder. I mean, I would be cool with that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or maybe when Joshua comes back, maybe he fights Ortiz.
Yeah,
that'd be a cool fight.
Be down for it.
Or Fury Ortiz. I'd like to see them all, really.
Yeah, those are the guys though. Like those 5, like any of them, you know, could fight each other. And I'm gonna watch it. But anything other than that, I'm like, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a surprise with the Ruiz, and you know, I thought about putting money on him. I really did. I thought about betting like $50 on him because he was such a big underdog.
How big was it?
Like minus 1,200, I think is what it closed at.
Damn.
So $50 would have won me $600.
Imagine if you bet on him to win in like the 7th round. Like you would have to get a huge payout.
Yeah.
That would be,
yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I should have bet on it. It's always how it goes, you know. You think about betting on something and then you don't.
Yeah.
And then
I thought about it, and I was like,
God, I should have bet on that.
I wouldn't have put more than 50 just because if he lost, you know, it's only $50. But
exactly.
If he won, you know, it would have been a good little bit. It depended on when I got the bet too. If I would have taken it earlier, like, you know, the line's constantly changing up until it closes it, you know, right before the fight.
Yeah.
So I mean, he might have been a bigger underdog before, you know, and people started betting on him and made the line go down, you know.
That's possible.
Yeah. It was crazy though, man. Nobody really expected that.
Yeah, it was a good fight though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, Joshua didn't just like get destroyed or anything. You know,
it was competitive.
But it kind of seemed like he ran out of cardio for sure.
Yeah, he definitely seemed exhausted by the time the fight was over.
I don't know, man. Maybe he either had an off night or he just wasn't prepared for this fight.
Well, Ruiz was putting like really good pressure and constant hard punches, you know, and really like long combinations and stuff. And I think that it just kind of surprised Wilder and took him off guard. So I mean, damn, I can't talk today. Surprised Joshua, you know, took him off guard because of the you know, amount of punches, the power, you know, the pressure that Ruiz was putting on.
Yeah.
And I guess it just wore him out. I don't know.
It had to.
I really thought that
he took some hard shots though too.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely thought that Ruiz was going to wear himself out and Josh was going to get a late knockout, but I mean,
that's how stuff goes sometimes.
Yeah. It's unexpected.
That's boxing for you. I mean, really. You see where Mike Tyson said he's gonna get into esports? Dude, Mike Tyson's always in the news, I swear. Like,
I didn't see
Did you
that.
hear about what happened on his podcast?
I heard something about that.
Well,
I don't know the full inside of it, but
I think Whack 100 was on his podcast, and that's like the games, like manager, and like security guard and stuff. Kind of like known for being like a thug, you know, like he known for like knocking people out and, you know, just being a tough guy. And I guess he went on Tyson's podcast and they were talking about Tupac. And he like said something negative about Tupac.
Was it Whack 100 or was it somebody? I think he had somebody with him that had made statements about Tupac.
Maybe.
I think Whack 100 was there.
More into it.
Yeah, I heard him talk.
I heard that Mike Tyson just knocked one of them out.
Oh really?
Like he punched one of them in the face. I don't know if he fully knocked him out, but he punched one of them in the face. And I can't remember what article I saw, but they commented on it and they were like, "Yeah, like my face has never hurt this bad." Like,
really. See, the thing that I think it was on Joe Budden's podcast.
That wasn't a fake article I read.
Yeah, I think it was on Joe Budden's podcast I was listening to where they were talking about it. And they played a clip from whoever the dude was that was there who got into it, Mike. And he was trying to play it off like it was no big deal. So I don't know. I'm not really sure exactly what happened. I wanted to know. Like, I want to get some more information on it, but Because I wouldn't imagine
wild, bro. Like,
going and trying to start some shit with Mike Tyson.
Oh,
He's 50, but he can still knock anybody out.
He's scary, bro.
Yeah.
But no, he said there was like a ESPN article about him getting into esports. He's going to invest in some professional team. I think it's Fade to Karma or something like that. I don't know. I know a lot of esports teams, but I don't know if I've ever heard of them. I don't watch all esports.
So what's he going to be doing? Like actually playing games? Or like developing games or what?
I don't know. Maybe he's just,
an
like,
investor?
Okay, I don't know if you've ever heard of 100 Thieves.
Mm-mm.
It's like this guy Nate Shaw. It's his brand. The Cavaliers invested in him.
Oh, wow.
Cavaliers owner. And then now Drake's like a co-owner to the esport.
Damn.
So like everybody's starting to get into esports and started to invest in teams and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy though. It's making esports bigger too, obviously, because they're putting a lot more money into it.
Yeah.
With all these, big boxers and Drake and all these people who are loaded already, and they're just putting their money into esports, and it's growing. Like esports is getting way bigger.
I know.
ESP.
I know Mike Tyson has his weed ranch or whatever.
Yeah,
he's got that.
He's in weed. He's doing podcasts.
Yeah, it's like a weed farm. It's this big ass plantation thing he built somewhere, and where they're doing weed. He's got his own like everything.
Dude's grinding.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I've only listened to I've listened to his podcast a couple times, but it was just like a couple episodes. It was like I don't know. There's just certain people on there that I was trying to hear what they had to say with him,
Yeah, like I don't know, I can't listen to all of his podcasts. Like sometimes I'm just like annoyed.
Yeah, he just kind of seems like he's just rambling.
Yeah, a lot of times.
His podcast with Joe Rogan was pretty good though.
I did enjoy that. That was funny.
Yeah, that was a good one.
He's got some good stories. Like I do like. I don't remember who he had on his podcast. I think it was Steve-O he had on his podcast, maybe.
Oh, really?
The Hot Box podcast or whatever. And, like, that was a funny one. That was cool to listen to because Steve-O was just, like, chilling, talking. Like,
yeah.
Normally you're so used to seeing him crazy. And he's been on Joe Rogan's, I think, too. It was a good podcast. But I don't know. They were really good together.
Huh.
He's all right on his podcast, but I don't know. It's like I've started episodes and been like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, then yesterday, I guess it was yesterday, they were talking about Yoel Romero. He was in a tainted supplement lawsuit, and they found, or he was awarded $27.5 million for being
insane.
Yeah, I guess because of the money he lost out on not being able to fight and stuff like that, and probably lost sponsorships.
Like a baseball player makes in 1 year.
Yeah.
Which, I know that sounds like a lot, but way more than, like, most pro athletes, even the high-level ones, make in 2 years. Like, he made more than most of them make in 2 years.
That's
like,
crazy,
he's
man.
just off of a tainted supplement.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money. That's more than he makes in his fights.
It's not like, oh, man, that tainted supplement didn't really hurt him that bad.
Mm-hmm.
He just decided to take action.
I guarantee that's more money than he lost by not being able to fight. And, even if he lost some sponsorships and shit, I guarantee that's more money than he lost because of the whole ordeal, So it's cool that it actually worked out for somebody for once,
Yeah.
Because,
I'm glad it did.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
I can't believe he got that much money.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind, literally.
Uh-huh.
I mean, oh my God, what I would do for even a quarter of that. Like, this is crazy, man.
Yeah,
congrats to him. I mean, he ain't got to worry about money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money for an MMA fighter. Like, there's
he's probably
boxers and stuff. They make way more.
He's got more money now than just about anybody in the MMA, besides Conor and people like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what he's making per fight, but I can't see him being more than a couple of million, if that,
I wonder how much money Donald Cerrone's made in the UFC.
I don't know. They did those payouts.
He's just had so many fights. I feel like you had to have racked up a lot of money from that.
Yeah, I don't know. He's probably making $500,000 or $600,000 a fight. I bet.
You would imagine.
I doubt it's more than that since he's not a champ. If he was a champ, I bet he'd be making more. But I don't know. We can look it up and see. But I bet it's probably somewhere around $500,000 or $600,000.
Yeah, there ain't no telling really. Let's see.
They do those payout breakdowns after after every fight, I guess, or after pay-per-views,
Yeah, they let you know how much they're making.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know if I've seen one with his on it.
No, I'm about to look it up.
He's making. I mean, he's getting paid good. He's a good asset for them to have. He's one of those guys. And he's constantly getting more fans.
Oh yeah, and like I mean, people are starting to realize that like he's been around forever and like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's definitely one of like the legends that. He has a big draw, People want to see him fight because they know how he's going to go out there and, put everything on the line.
Exactly. I don't know. I can't really find anything about.
I'm sure it's.
He's been awarded 16 fight night bonuses at the UFC, and that's like $50,000 each time. So, I mean, that's a lot of money right there already. And that's not even including what he made from each of those fights. That's just the bonuses. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd say he definitely. Yeah. He probably makes at least a few million, $4 or $5 million a year off just fighting.
Yeah, because he fights. He usually fights 3 or 4 times a year. I think.
I guarantee he makes close to that with everything. Not bad. What you got? I'm ready for him and Tony.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Dude, I'm so excited for that fight.
That's gonna be really good.
I don't know though. I think Tony's just.
I think so too.
I think Tony might manhandle him a little bit, like especially if Tony comes back like he did against Pettis.
Tony's just so well rounded. Like
I don't know. Cowboy's kind of talking some shit though.
Oh, is he?
A little bit.
I haven't seen it.
Not really. I mean, one of the things he said, I know what kind of opponent I'm against. He's tough as shit. He's very unorthodox, but not a very high-level striker, I don't think. He's just high volume. I was like, I don't know
if I'd say that.
Tony's a pretty high-level striker.
He's not the, I don't know, he's not the highest-level striker, but he puts it together really well with other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's really good on the ground, and he's pretty good striking, but he just puts it all together really well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, and he definitely has the volume. Like, I mean, he's right about that. The dude does not slow up.
Yeah, his cardio not stop.
Is tremendous.
Yeah.
Like, all day. He's not stopping. And also, Cerrone said, it surprised me that Tony wanted to fight so short notice. I don't know if he needs money to pay medical bills or what the fuck. I don't care either. That's kind of rude.
Yeah, that's a little bit rude.
A little mean. Like, why are you talking about his personal life like that? Like, I don't think that's something you really. That
doesn't sound like Donald.
I know.
Normally he's not like that. Normally he's real quiet. He doesn't really say much.
And like I see a lot of people talking trash in the comments, and I believe Tony is high level in everything, striking and everything. He just has a different technique than everybody else. Yeah. Like he's not the same.
He's just not. He's not the traditional boxer. He's not that traditional boxing style. He's not wild in a bad way, but he's kind of the way Max is. He just likes to throw and take punches.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys. He outworks almost everybody he fights. Like
his cardio is insane.
Yeah, he's not running out of energy. It's like he's coming for your head, and like until something happens, you're gonna have to knock him out or do something if you want to win. I feel like against Tony.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched a video earlier where Dominic Cruz is. I guess he's on his show. He's doing some kind of a Tony Ferguson breakdown.
Yeah,
I think it's tonight, where he's going to break down some of Tony's techniques and show some of the different things that Tony does, which would be pretty cool. Because Dominic Cruz is he's really knowledgeable about all that kind of techniques and stuff. Yeah, and he's a legend himself.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's why I'm excited to see it. I mean, I don't want to see either one of them get like slept or anything. But I
want to see a good fight.
Exactly.
I don't want it to end in the first round. I'd rather see a decision.
I'd rather go 5 rounds and get a decision for sure,
or like a late stoppage, or something. But yeah, I think Tony Ferguson gets it done, and then I think he could be either Dustin, whoever's champ.
I really think he has it in him. Like I think Tony's that good. I always have. Like if you look at the people he's beat and the streak he's on right now, like I don't see him losing anytime soon. Like he's kind of got it figured out for the most part. Like Pettis gave him a little bit of trouble, but I mean he got him down at one point. And like honestly, during that fight, I thought Pettis might get it done at that point because it was close. But Tony,
that's when he was like running and rolling and jumping away from him. Pettis was on top of him.
You're not going to submit him. I mean, and knocking him out, it's not easy either. Like Pettis did all he could do, and Tony still found a way out of it.
What's his record? Do you know?
Tony?
I think he's got like 3 or 4 losses.
Tony? Yeah, he's
something like that.
Let me look. I just looked at it the other day. Maybe 3 losses.
Something like that, I think.
Yeah, 24-3.
24-3.
Yeah, I knew he didn't have many.
Yeah.
Donald's got 36-11.
Yeah.
Man, been fighting.
He's been fighting for a long ass time.
Yeah, that's wild.
Most fights in the UFC.
I'm excited for that. I guess we do have a fight announcement. We haven't really talked about Uriah Faber and
oh yeah,
what's his
Ricky Simon.
Yeah, Ricky Simon
Or Simon Simon Simon.
Simon.
I think it's Simon.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We're gonna go Simon.
He looks like a Mexican Theo Von.
Yeah.
With the mullet.
I was looking at him. Yeah.
But his last fight was really good.
Uriah fought again though.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I mean, when's the last time he fought?
It's been years.
That's what I'm saying.
He's been out for a while. He retired, didn't he? And now he's coming back.
Yeah, he retired for a while, and I think it's been at least a couple years, I would say.
Yeah, it's been a while. Ricky Simon did his last fight was really good. He looked good in that fight. I'm trying to see. I don't remember who he fought.
Too long ago, was it?
No, it
It was
wasn't.
like a couple of months ago.
Yeah, I think so. I remember if it was the beginning of this year, if it was late last year. I think it was earlier this year.
Yeah, Uriah Faber's last fight was Saturday, December 17th, 2016.
Wow, that's wild.
So 2.5 years, almost 3 if he made it to December.
Yeah, Ricky Simon's last fight was in February, and that was a good fight, man. He looked good in that. I don't think this is not going to be an easy fight for Uriah to come back to.
Not at all. Not to come back to. Like he's going to really. I mean, it's crazy that he's been out that long. He's 34-10. I didn't realize Uriah had that many fights in or not. Just MMA period. I didn't realize he had that many.
That's a lot.
Yeah, like he's been doing the thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited to see that fight though.
He was good though. He was pretty good when he was fighting.
I mean, he's lost to. I mean, most of his losses are to pretty high level dudes like Dominic Cruz and people like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't lost that many.
Yeah, he hates T.J. Dillashaw.
Yeah, they always have beef.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw something the other day where he was talking shit again.
Again.
Yeah, so
Oh, and that's one thing I was gonna bring up. Elias Theodora getting cut.
yeah, dude, that's weird.
What? One loss?
Yeah.
Literally one loss, and they cut him. Like I don't see how that makes sense.
It's really weird. I think the thing was, from my understanding, I saw something before where he was wanting to win because he needed to renegotiate his contract. And I think the thing was he didn't renegotiate before the fight because he wanted to win and be able to ask for more money when he renegotiated his contract. And since he lost, he probably wanted more than they were willing to pay him, so they just cut him. That's the only thing I can think because I mean he was a good fighter, you know. Yeah. It's not like he was garbage. You know?
I mean he was 8. I think after that loss he was 8-3.
Yeah, and he lost to some pretty good guys.
But that was still his first loss in the UFC.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know.
And he's won like 3 out of his last 4. Or something like that.
It's so weird. It's like maybe they just couldn't come to some kind of agreement.
I think that has something to do with that. Like he
had to have something like some kind of ill will towards the UFC for them to be like, okay, we're just going to cut you and let you.
Well, you know, we've seen a lot of guys that you call it betting on yourself. You know, it's time to renegotiate your contract. Your contract's up. This is your last fight. If you don't renegotiate before you fight and you lose, this is the chance you're taking. You know, but if you especially if you're trying to make more money, you know, if you just renegotiated before and accept less money and then keep fighting with them, you know, I don't know. We've seen it happen before, and go both ways, you know. So
yeah, stuff happens. I hope he can find another organization.
I think he will. I think he'll get picked up by somebody. Bellator probably sign him.
Bellator one definitely. Yeah, he could make something happen over there. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see him make some money. I know he's still got a career ahead of him.
And even the loss, it wasn't like it was a close fight. The whole fight was close. He even thought he won at the end, you know?
Yeah, and then they cut him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's weird. It's definitely weird.
Hope everything works out for him.
Mm-hmm. Well, last night, UFC Fight Night Gustafsson, Anthony Smith, Stockholm. That was weird. You know, I forgot about the time difference. Like, I was expecting it to be a nighttime fight. Of course, yes. And then in the middle of the day, I'm like, oh, shit, it's already on. I always do that. I always forget, that it's fight night. Mm-hmm. So I'm always thinking it's at night, bro. By the time I turned it on, it was the main event.
And most of the time they are at night.
Mm-hmm. I missed the rest of it. I had to go back and catch up on them.
Yeah, I didn't even get to watch all of them. I went back and watched clips on most of them, but I did watch the full Anthony Smith and Gustafsson. That was a crazy fight. Who all did we have on the card?
There's a lot of not really big names. There's a lot of Swedish guys on there. But that Amir Khani guy, I don't know. I don't remember his first name. But he fought Fish Gold and beat him with an anaconda choke in the second round.
Yeah, I saw a clip of that.
Yeah, and then Jimmy Manuwa got knocked out with a head kick. That was wild. Yeah, he got. Flatlined.
Oh,
dude
I saw
caught
that on
him back
Instagram. Dude, he got destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was just. It was one of those where boom down.
Yeah.
Like he's nothing.
Yeah, that was in the first round too.
Yep.
47 seconds. Crazy.
Some crazy guys out there.
Mm-hmm.
I love watching the guys who aren't well known.
Yeah.
The ones you see the crazy.
And Jimmy Manuwa was like he's got experience, you know.
Yeah.
He's 17-6. Like he wasn't no punk, you know. He's been around. He's fought some good guys.
Yep.
The guy beat him is 12-1. I don't know who his loss was to, but that was the co-main and the main event. Gustafsson Smith. I don't know.
What do you think about that?
I feel bad for Gustafsson, honestly. You know.
Yeah.
You know, we talked before where he said that if he can't beat Anthony Smith, then maybe he just doesn't have it anymore. And then at a press conference,
kind of negative.
They questioned him about that to see what he meant, because it sounded like he was kind of shitting on Anthony Smith a little bit, and he's like, no, it's not that. It's just if I can't compete at the top of the division, then I'm not sure that I have it in me anymore. I'm not sure I need to be doing this.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he's like, I'm still here. I'm still fighting. You know, it's just how I'm feeling, you know.
Yeah.
And then he goes into this fight, and, you know, he looked pretty good in the beginning, but you know, Anthony Smith was winning the first 2 rounds. You know, I had him winning both of those rounds.
Yeah.
You know,
Smith showed up, and kind of like that picture I sent you before. Like I had already had a breakdown of like, you know, how I was gonna pick for the fight to go. And originally I said Alex. You know, I thought he is the superior fighter.
Yeah.
But you know, he had all that self-doubt. You know, and Anthony Smith was so tough against Jones.
Yeah.
You know, so you see him do good against Jones, even better than Gustafsson did his second time around. You know, it wasn't the same Gus, that second fight with Jones. And Smith did a lot better against Jones.
Yeah.
And so the way I looked at that, I was like, Smith's on a tear right now. Yeah. You know, and I was, you know, basically what I said is I thought, you know, Anthony Smith has the mentality and the skills to win. And I think he was going to overwhelm Gus with pressure. And, he kind of did, but what he said in one of the press conferences, he broke his hand in the fight.
Yeah,
he broke his.
He punched Gus in the forehead.
Like, feel his bone moving around.
He could feel it clicking. Yeah.
Yeah, and he said that's why he ended up trying to go for a takedown or something. That's why he, you know. And I saw it too. He kind of kicked out Gus's legs, like out from under him a little bit, and then got on his back, and he wasn't stopping until he got that choke.
Well, you know, I said, you know, had Smith winning the first 2 rounds, and then third round Gus comes out, and he was actually doing really good in that round. Like third round, he was showing up.
Yeah, you know? Bro, he put down a lot. I mean, he's putting down some good shots.
And even the fourth round, he was winning the fourth round up until Smith got his back. You know, he went for a takedown, and Smith was able to trip him and push him into the fence and get him down, and then.
It wasn't easy for him.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy for Anthony Smith at all.
Anthony Smith got his back, and it looked like he was going to slide off. Like, you know, Gus kind of stood up, or he kind of bent over, you know, so he would put all Smith's weight forward, you know, so he would slide. And he was sliding off, but he repositioned himself, and he had both hooks in. And he repositioned himself so that he could get the hooks in. And once he did, he started trying to flatten him out. And I knew... You know, Gus was in trouble at that point, because you got a guy that big on top of you like that, and he's got both his hooks in, and then he laced his leg through and was holding Gustafsson's leg down with his leg.
Yeah.
You know, with the hooks in. So it was like there's no way Gus couldn't do anything, you know?
I mean, that's the thing, and you know, Gus was putting a lot of pressure. If you look at the stats from the fight, total strikes, Gus put down 73 and had 69 significant strikes. Anthony Smith only put down 49 and he had exactly 49 significant strikes. Yeah. So, I mean, all of his strikes landed and, you know, did well, but Gus still put down more pressure on Anthony Smith. You know, he put way more pressure on him, and more significant strikes, you know, and way more to the head and body.
Yeah. I am glad that...
Legs. He kicked the shit out of Smith's legs.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he was going there a lot.
Yeah, he busted his shin in the first round checking a kick too. So his leg was bleeding the whole time.
That was suck.
Yeah.
But yeah, before the fight, I mean, Smith was, I mean, you know, you could tell he kept coming out and talking, like, and being confident. You never heard anything from Gus.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes they could be low key, and you know, the fighters can still come out and show up. But you know, a lot of times when you see one guy being quiet and the other guy is just like ready to go on a tear, a lot of times that's not a good thing. I mean, Anthony Smith was like, he can be broken. I don't say that as a way of disrespecting him. I have no beef with Alex, but if we're being honest and talking about X's and O's, he can be broken. He said, I don't give a fuck about what happens in the fight. I want to perform, and that's it. I want to hit him as many times as I possibly can. I want to punch when I can punch. I want to kick when I can kick. If he gets too close, then I'll drag him to the fucking ground, and if he gets up, then I'll do it again. That's all I want to do. And he did it, I mean.
Yeah. I do like that. You know, if it's going to end like that, you know, I'm glad that he submitted Alex instead of just punching his head in. You know, I don't like to see that happen to anybody. You know, especially not someone like Alex that I like. You know,
exactly.
You know, I thought he was gonna when he had him down and he flattened him out. I thought he was gonna just pound on him like Jones did, and I was like, damn, this sucks. And then
you don't want to see that.
Then he slipped his. I think he didn't want to do that because his hand was broke. You know, so he slipped his arm under the chin, and I was like, oh shit, it's over.
Yeah, it's like it's done now. And
I told my dad watching that fight. I just happened to be over at his house when I realized it was on, so I threw it on the TV and we watched it.
Yeah.
And I told him while it was happening, I was like, if Alex loses this fight, he's either going to retire or he goes to heavyweight. I don't see anything else. I don't see him staying light heavyweight.
It's looking like he might retire.
Yeah, and then in the end, he when they came to talk to him after they talked to Smith, and he was looking down at his gloves the whole time. I was like, shit, he's about to retire. I knew it was coming. Like I could just tell the way he was acting. He wasn't looking up. You know, he wasn't looking around. He was focusing on his gloves the whole time. Like he was
a little bit lost.
Like he was nervous about doing it, but he knew that's what he wanted to do.
He
you know,
knew his heart was like, I kind of need to say this.
Yeah, and then
that's what he said. He was like, I just feel like I don't have it anymore. I feel like I'm getting old. We all have to realize that it's the end of the story.
Yeah, and at the end, he's just like takes his gloves off and he congratulates Smith and he takes the microphone and he's like thanking everybody for coming out. He's like, I don't know what to say, guys. This show is over, and he tosses his gloves down. And I was like, damn, he did it.
Yeah, bro. Kind of had. I mean, I like Gus. He's always just been a super nice guy. And even John Jones commented on it. He was like, honestly, I don't believe you, but if you're serious, thank you for everything. You held the division to a standard and made us better. Go kick ass with that family.
I like that.
Yeah, I like seeing John. I like seeing it. That picture. If you haven't seen that picture of them two, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, that was their first fight. Yeah,
they both
I think
bro, they beat the hell out of each other.
I think at one point Gustafsson left in a wheelchair after that fight. He was so beat up.
They killed each other, bro. That was such a good fight. Like Gus could have won that fight. You know what I mean? Like it was that close.
Yeah, that was a really close fight.
That's the most trouble John Jones has ever been in. Mm-hmm. But to be fair, he wasn't even like himself in that fight. Like he still won.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's wild.
That just shows you how good John is. He just beats everybody. And then, you know, with Smith, he was able to take the damage that John, like he just was able to take everything that John was throwing at him. So I didn't think that Gus would be able to knock him out. I figured it was going to be.
Yeah, Smith's one of those guys, you can tell he's hard as hell to knock out.
I figured that Gustafsson would come in and get like a late submission, like 4th, 5th round submission, or maybe a decision win. Yeah. I didn't think Smith was going to beat him.
Yeah, see, I had Smith winning.
I think it was more me wanting Gus to win just because I like him so much. You know what I mean?
Just because you like Gus better.
I knew that
he can be kind of a douchebag sometimes. You know, I mean, Smith's a good guy.
Yeah.
You can tell with his interviews and stuff, but sometimes.
I mean, he's got. I respect him a lot more than I did before. You know, when I didn't really know who he was and everything, but when he fought John, I was like, damn. This dude's good.
Yeah.
Like,
he's really good. If you can even hang 5 rounds with John Jones, you're doing good.
Yeah. If you just don't get knocked out by John Jones.
Yeah, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
If you don't get knocked out or submitted, you did good.
Because look how many people have gotten. He knocked out DC, but he did knock out Anthony Smith. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Anthony Smith's a tough guy.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, after the Ortiz fight, give it to Anthony Smith again. Somebody's got to keep fighting him. If not, the dude's got to go up to heavyweight and fight.
Well, Anthony Smith said he wants to fight. He wants to fight John again. He's working his way back to that. That's what he's there for. He was there to be champ, and he wants to fight John again. He said he'll see him again. That's what.
Well, that's what he said in that conference after. He's like none of these dudes in the division can fuck with me.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll do anything I can to get back to John Jones. I'm gonna go through everybody again if I have to.
I'm down to watch it.
Me too. Yeah. I mean, I say if I can let Anthony Smith go through everybody. I mean, I don't think he should have to fight Ortiz if Ortiz loses to John. I mean, I feel like he's done good enough beating Gus again, really. Yeah. I mean, who else is there for him to fight besides maybe Ortiz? Like,
you mean Santos?
Why do I keep calling him Ortiz?
I think because we were talking about Wilder and Ortiz.
Sorry,
I was like, I'm trying to think.
Mexican thieves, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think who is Ortiz.
Just because it was a Mexican name, I know him.
Yeah, Santos.
Yeah, Thiago Santos. Yeah, I be getting these names mixed up all the time.
Oh, it's hard, man. Yesterday I was trying to think.
Especially boxing and MMA, I'll get the names mixed up because we were just talking about Brady.
Yeah,
that's what I got confused. My bad.
That's cool, man. It was a pretty good card overall. It couldn't have been a pay-per-view. It just wasn't. There wasn't enough on there, but it's typical when they go to another country, they bring a bunch of people from a bunch of fighters from that country let them fight on the card, which is cool. They do the same thing with Brazil. That Brazil card. It was with Rose on there.
Yeah, it had nothing but Brazilian.
Yeah, it's like every fight had a Brazilian.
I love that though.
Yeah, I think that's cool that they do that. I like that.
Yeah, let these guys fight in their home. Instead of always being in the U.S.
And it gives them some shine when it's usually a lot of people we don't know.
Yeah.
Usually a lot of fighters on there we don't really know, so
yeah,
it's cool to get to see new people and stuff. But
yeah, bro, that's why I love UFC and just MMA. Period. Like, I'm not just there might be plenty of fighters we have no idea who the hell they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I love watching those fights. I love I'll watch the Contender Series on YouTube, and I really would like to get in the Contender Series on Fight Pass.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's the only reason I would get Fight Pass is to watch the Contender Series.
Yeah, Fight Pass is just too damn expensive for what it
I'm
is,
not
man.
spending money on. I'm just not.
It's like $15 a month or something.
I'll find all those Contender Series fights somewhere, and they post a lot of them on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, but no, I mean, there's dudes who are coming up who are like 3-0, you know what I mean, and like they haven't really fought anybody yet, but they're beating everybody they fight. So it's like you see them coming up like that. I really enjoy watching guys like that.
Yeah, it's cool to see those like no-name guys,
girls too.
Not no-name guys, just people that haven't made a name yet.
Yeah, they're just getting started in the sport. It's nice.
Yeah. Well, this next weekend, Saturday, we got the UFC 238 pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, that is next weekend.
Mm-hmm. This card is stacked from top to bottom,
yep.
prelims and all.
Yep, we got so many good fights next weekend. I hate that we have to work.
This is the prelim fights: Ricardo Lamas, Calvin Kattar, Carolina Kowalkiewicz, Alexa Grasso, Aljamain Sterling, Pedro Munoz, Tatiana Suarez, Nina Ansaroff. That's prelims.
That's crazy. Like,
that's a main card on a fight night.
That's what I'm saying. Like on a fight night, that's definitely a main card. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the main card. Tai Tuivasa and Bago Inavav.
Good fight.
I've never heard of that guy before, but he's 17-2. So I mean,
he's obviously done something.
Yeah. Let's see, who's he fought? He fought Ben Rothwell. He beat Ben Rothwell decision.
Ben Rothwell's a tough guy.
Yeah, he lost at JDS. Those were his last two fights.
So I mean, he's understandable.
Yeah, he's fighting some good dudes. I've never heard of him before.
Most people lose at JDS.
He's just been flying under the radar for me. Jimmy Rivera, Peter Yan.
Jimmy Rivera.
Legend.
Yes. What I was thinking is, I'm trying to think about his record. What's his record?
His record's 22-3.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know he's got a good ass record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jimmy Rivera's tough.
Yeah, his last fight.
I like to see guys like that continue to fight. I mean, he's had a lot of fights.
Yeah. He lost to Aljamain Sterling earlier this year. And he lost to Marlon
It's crazy
Rice.
You see these mid-level guys. Like, Aljamain Sterling has beat, like, some pretty tough guys, but he's also lost to some other guys. Like,
yeah.
You always have these guys in the middle who, like, they'll lose to certain high-level fighters, and then they'll win against certain high-level fighters. And they'll lose to somebody random. It's like there's always those guys in the middle, and you never know. Sometimes those are the most interesting fights because they end up fighting somebody else who's similar to them like that, and you never know who's going to win. Like, they're not just, like, anything could happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be a pretty good fight.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
And then Tony Ferguson, Donald Cerrone. That should be a main event. not necessarily on this card, but on.
It's the co-main, isn't it?
No, it's not even the co-main. The co-main is Valentina Shevchenko and Jessica Eye, because that's the title fight too.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't give Tony the co-main?
Mm-mm.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
a little bit, bro. Like, I mean, 100% that could easily be the main card on a fight night or a pay-per-view. I mean, you tell me.
They could have taken that fight, Tony Ferguson, Donald Cerrone, and he could have headlined the card with the rest of the prelims and been a fight night.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
That's almost a pay-per-view. That's more stacked than some of the pay-per-views.
That's Donald Cerrone, bro. Like, and Tony Ferguson.
Yeah. Those prelims
They're
are more
both
stacked
legends.
than some of the pay-per-views we've seen lately.
Do they think like they might not sell as much as a main event? I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like they deserve a main event.
I think they just wanted to stack this card out.
I don't think Tony, but then if you look at it, Tony and Cerrone, they don't give two shits.
Yeah, no, they
They're
don't
just
care.
ready. They're both ready to fight.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how they both are.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they don't care. And then, that's Cejudo, isn't it?
Yeah, Cejudo Marlon Moraes main event.
Can't wait. Let's go, Marlon. I just keep hating every
Yeah,
podcast.
I know you don't like Henry.
I don't hate him, bro.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, he's not a bad guy, but like
He's just annoying.
He's just a
He can't be annoying. I mean,
25-pound punk.
Yeah.
He's
He's
I
good.
wouldn't fight him. He'd probably beat my ass 100%. But like I'm tired of hearing about the wrestling and all. I want to see the dude get his fucking jaw jacked.
It'll be a fun fight.
Yeah, and I mean, Cejudo's fucking tough. I mean,
Yeah.
he's going to do his best to drag him to the ground and get it done quick.
He's good.
You know
but
what I mean?
after seeing the last couple of Marlon's fights, man,
Marlon's been running through.
He's so good. I don't
He's
see
so
Cejudo beating
he's
him.
so precise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can just look at him. He's super focused. Every shot is like very precise, and his movement. Like somebody, who was his last fight? I can't remember.
Sansao?
Yeah, the Sansao. Like he would kick him, and then he would spin around. Moraes would,
Yeah.
and like he would he found a way to like avoid almost all the kicks. Like
Yeah.
he, like the
Like
way,
roll with it.
Yeah, he doesn't take much damage. Like he's really good at avoiding taking damage.
Before, like his last fight was Rafael Sansao, and it was a first round submission. And then the fight before that, he knocked out Jimmy Rivera in the first round.
Yeah, so he's
Yeah, and I think the first fight with Sansao, he won a decision. That was their second time fighting. Was this past one they fought?
Yeah.
That was in February.
Yeah, he's beaten somehow. I mean, if you're knocking out Jimmy Rivera, like you can beat almost anybody, especially in that division.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think it's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
yeah, this is a good
Ready
a
for
good
that
card. I actually want to watch the prelims. I don't ever watch prelims really,
Yeah.
unless I just am that bored,
Yeah.
or don't have anything else going on. I
Andrew
actually want to
Ruiz.
watch it all.
I was about to say,
I wonder if.
I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, of course the prelims are going to be on ESPN. They should have put those on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
Like we're paying for it for a fucking reason.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Why put them on regular ESPN?
Wait, if
You're telling me I gotta have DirecTV.
yeah,
I gotta have ESPN Plus
and I got to
just to watch
pay-per-view.
all the UFC I want to watch.
Yeah, it's,
Like,
it's
no,
ridiculous.
man, they-
I mean, they can still put it on ESPN, but they should also put it on Plus,
Yes.
so that if you're like, I don't have satellite, I don't have DirecTV,
either. I don't
have any
plan
of
on
that.
it. ever.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what I mean? Like I'm fine with having my Hulu and Netflix or
Yeah.
HBO, whatever I want
exactly.
at the time, and then paying for ESPN Plus. I mean, that's not too expensive either.
Mm-mm.
And so it's like, just give us what we
That's
deserve.
cheap for all the content we
Yeah,
get. you
then
know?
give us what we deserve.
But make it where we can watch it on ESPN Plus since we pay for it.
Yeah.
You know,
They got to fix that system.
I'm sure
bro.
that they just left it up to ESPN since it's the contracts with them. ESPN probably doesn't look at it from that perspective. They're just thinking we're going to get money from here, we're going to get money from there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not really the UFC controlling it because their contract is with ESPN. So ESPN is the one that gets to set it up. And from ESPN's perspective, let's make it where they got to have two different things to see it.
Yeah, they're going to do whatever they can to possibly make the most money. You know, they want more people on. They want to get more revenue from DirecTV and people on that are watching
Commercials and all that shit.
Yeah, all the commercials that people are watching. Every time somebody views, that's more money for them.
Yeah.
So they want people watching on ESPN, and then they don't care.
I see
they
why,
don't care.
but from
They
our-
want you to switch to your mobile device or
Yeah.
whatever it is you're watching streaming on to stream these other fights.
Yeah. I mean, from our perspective, for them, I see why they do it, but for us, it's like, man, I'm not trying to have all this other shit. I just want to watch it.
Exactly.
You're going to get the eyes on it if you make it available. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like just make it available.
I know that you can do, like, on the ESPN app, you can do the Watch ESPN if you know somebody that has DirecTV and you log in with their information, So I may try to do that.
It's not like they're really probably getting exactly what they want out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most people are probably illegally streaming.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. A lot of people are. So it's
Yeah.
like a lot of people don't give a crap about ESPN Plus. They don't give a crap about none of your paywalls. They don't care about none of that. They're just going to find a way on the internet to watch it free.
Yeah.
And that's just how a lot of people are going to be, just because they feel like they don't, they shouldn't have to go through all this crap just to watch it.
Yeah. There's I would like to see the numbers on how many people actually illegally stream these fights.
It's crazy. You see, I see people talking shit about Brendan Schaub,
I saw
saying
that
that he
too.
got one of those taken down. Or
I think so.
something.
He said something about using the Reddit link, and so they got it. That Red link got shut down or something.
I'm pretty sure they're starting to shut down the entire Reddit like MMA stream section,
really?
or they're trying to get to where people can't like post links. Like which Reddit, the like mods and stuff on Reddit post on there, and they're like they tell you not to post links, but people do it anyway.
Yeah.
And then
it's
like,
more of like they're just covering their own ass. You know.
Yeah, if you go through those sections, it's always like comment remove.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're steadily removing people's links and shit like that. It's random.
I've stumbled across it before.
It happens, bro. It happens. Internet for you.
Yeah, it was
that's the age we live in. I mean, they can't control all that. You know what I mean? It's hard for them to regulate the internet and try to keep control of it.
They need to find a way to make money. They need to find a way where they can regulate it to make money off of it. So still have streaming links, but you know, I think Schaub said something about that on one of his podcasts, that if ESPN or UFC was to put out their own streaming link and then put ads on it, they're still going to get paid. Yeah. So like the people who are going to illegally stream it, they're going to illegally stream it anyway. Just make it available, and you can still make money off of it that way. It makes sense.
Like if they make it more available, like if you make it more available, you're still going to make plenty of money. Make it to where people don't have to watch it on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Have all of it on ESPN Plus, and then honestly, you need to make the pay-per-views at least another $20 cheaper. At least. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Or like we were talking about with the ESPN
60 or
Plus,
70, like 40 maybe.
Yeah, with the ESPN Plus, make it a deal where we get a discount for having ESPN Plus.
You know how much more money y'all would be making?
Or bump the price of ESPN Plus up and give us the pay-per-views included.
I don't know, bro. Disney doesn't give a shit. They're probably like, fuck it, we got billions already. Yeah, we don't care. We're just trying to do shit. I don't know. They might not give a crap about us.
Probably not.
You know they don't. None of them do. Those big greedy companies give a crap. They just try to make money. That's another reason why people illegally stream. They're like, why should I give them more money?
Yeah.
Well, that's understandable, but that's life.
Yeah, I mean, I've had to turn to the dark side before.
I mean,
if there's something you're trying to see and you just really can't, I mean,
shit like that. I mean, like Job said, that one night when the first stream they had kept messing up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he had to. He's like, I want to watch the fight, and y'all can't even get the stream to work. And I got a stream over here that works fine. Why do they get it to work fine when y'all can't?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's when they. I think that was the first.
That was the first card.
ESPN Plus.
Was on the first card, wasn't he?
I think so. The ESPN Plus pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Or the pay-per-view where you have to go through ESPN Plus to get to the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
it was the first one that they had with that.
And they couldn't get it to play right.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's ridiculous. All these.
I think eventually they'll change the way they do things, though. I think UFC, which UFC's not in control anymore, really. Yeah. Like they're kind of just.
It's all on ESPN
whatever
now.
ESPN wants to do, you know.
If ESPN's happy with what they got, then I guess they'll leave it the way it is. But.
Yeah, but it's like UFC. I think that's what it is, bro. One reason like there's this paywall and like the pay-per-views are still expensive is like UFC wants to make their money, but ESPN wants their cut too. So it's like we gotta, they're trying to get a payday for both organizations, and I mean you're kind of screwing the customer by doing that. I don't know, maybe they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I hope so. I just want it more available for us to watch, and not have to be concerned about, things.
Exactly. Well,
we got some good fights coming up though, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Excited. I'm super excited for next weekend to watch those fights and see who to lose. And
dude, last week did we talk about Rafael Assunção and Corey Sandhagen? That fight got made.
We announced
did
it.
we? Okay.
Yeah, we talked.
I couldn't remember if we announced that or not. I remember seeing
Corey
it.
Sandhagen. Yeah,
that's gonna be a good fight too.
Yeah, that will be a good one. Corey Sandhagen's been on a tear lately.
Yeah,
like I mean, he's starting to look very, very high level. I'm excited for that too.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where he goes from here. Like he's been really good,
Yeah, he's like one of those up and coming guys.
I saw earlier where Mike Perry's still petitioning for the Darren Till fight. He's calling Darren Till out. He said, "You said we were made to fight each other. So where you at?"
Dude, imagine.
That'd be such a good fight, man.
So good. But imagine if Mike Perry knocks out Darren Till.
Yeah,
you're out of the UFC probably. You know what I mean? Like Mike can afford to lose.
Darren Till's it's been weird. Like ever since the taxi thing, the videos he's been
ever since Masvidal.
Everything he's been posting on Instagram is so weird. Like
yeah, he's different. I don't know. It screwed him up. I think
he changed his little avatar on Instagram. Is just blank now. There's nothing. There's no picture there. It's like I don't know. It's weird.
Depressed? I don't know.
I don't know. He's posting pictures. I guess he went to a soccer game or something. He's been posting pictures with family and friends and stuff. But I don't know.
He's a strange guy. You can tell if you I've listened to his interview. He's just a strange guy.
Yeah,
like
it's just weird.
I don't know. It is weird. I hope
And
we get this shit
it's
together.
all
And,
stemmed
that's
from-
the thing, though. I mean, but I'd love to see him and Mike Perry fight, but if he loses, I mean, the UFC might very well cut him.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
that's
needs a
row.
comeback fight. Like they need to give him somebody, you know, not easy, but like an easier fight than Mike Perry or somebody like that coming back. You know,
Yeah, he
They need to-
something
they need to
get
make
his
them-
feet back wet, like, and get back in.
they need to make the Mike Perry, Robbie Lawler fight, and then give Darren Till somebody.
Robbie
Yeah.
Lawler, Mike Perry, now that's good.
Yeah,
I think Mike Perry might take a L.
maybe.
It's
yeah.
hard. It's hard to tell. Robbie's just
He's
a
good,
savage.
but you know, I don't know. There's a lot. They just need to start announcing some more fights so we have more to talk about.
Right, I know.
I feel like they announced them all at once. Now we've been in kind of a slump
there's
news
just-
wise.
there's only so much to talk about in boxing and MMA. You know,
Yeah.
and a lot of times there's going to be more, and a lot of times there's not. It just
Yeah.
depends. You know,
Especially with not having-
I like that there's always at least something to talk about. You know, some fights to break down or look at.
Yeah, I mean, like last week we didn't have. There was nothing. No Bellator, no UFC, no boxing. We didn't
Yeah,
have
there
anything.
really wasn't anything like.
Yeah, it didn't really make sense to try to do a podcast and try to fill up an hour with, you know,
No.
nothing that we
Yeah,
had.
and I mean this one for the most part we talked about
Mm-hmm.
everything.
We were able to cover everything. Yeah, from the
Yeah,
last
all
2
M
weeks.
and A, like I mean, you know what I mean.
Well,
good.
I guess that's about it, man. I don't
Yeah, we don't
have
really have
anything
any. I don't have anything else that I have written down or any more notes or any more MMA to talk about.
else. All right. Well,
What is this, episode 11?
episode 11.
All right, y'all hit us up on Instagram or Facebook, something.
Yeah.
Anything, man.
Yeah.
Anybody out there listening, interested, just hit us up and give us some more feedback. We
Tell your
really,
friends.
Really, really would appreciate it.
Tell everybody you know. Share
Yeah.
our stuff, whatever.
Subscribe, leave reviews, anything, man.
Anything to help us let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, what we need to do better.
Yeah.
You know, we're open to criticism.
Everything. Yeah, we want some feedback, guys. But hope everybody has a good weekend, and we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.